there, welcome to class. I'm Miss Faust. Please make sure you have paper out. Today is a note-taking day. As I wrote on the board, take notes. Yes, we start with our next writer, our next individual. Are you ready? Do you have your paper out and a pen or pencil? Fantastic. So follow me over to the board. Our person is Dorothy M Johnson. These are her years, 1905 to 1983/84. There's a question about when she died, 83 or 84. Okay? So that's why you're going, huh? She died in 2 different years? Yeah, it's either 83 or 84. Okay. She is a novelist, a short story writer. Yes, that's what we'll be reading, a short story. A magazine editor, and a professor. So, let me talk about her. Okay, make sure you're taking notes. You never know. They might come in handy down the road. Okay, so take notes. Okay, let's see. What do we have about Johnson? Yes. Now, she's a fascinating writer. What? And that's what you're asking yourself. Why do you say that, Miss Faust? Well, because she's a little different. She's considered to be, she's from Montana, and how do I want to say this? Okay. She's considered to be Montana's most successful writer of Western fiction. That's exactly what she writes about. Actually, she was born in Iowa, but she ended up Montana. Okay. And I mean, that's where she grew up. And she had a passion about the West and a passion about the frontier, history and folklore. So she wrote books because she was inspired by the folklore and the like, again, of the West. Let's see, how do I want to say it? She was an editor in New York for several years. Obviously, she was a professor, so she has her degrees from the university. Okay, and again, she focuses on the West. She loves the West, obviously, and 19th century frontier history. 19th century. So we're talking the 1800s. She loves that time. And she is known, and there is a movie, well, versions of this movie, of the story. Okay, so this movie, there's so many versions of it. She is known for, I have to make sure I get this right, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. So, yeah, that was in motion pictures in those days. And let's see, it starred a very famous actor who did a lot of westerns, namely John Wayne, in case you've heard of him. And also Jimmy Stewart. He was also relatively well known. She always felt that people of the West, in particular men, they tended to be very fearless. Okay? They tend to be very fearless. But the thing about her, and you'll find in her writings, especially if you go beyond the story that we're going to cover, is that she wondered to herself, now what if one of these men, these frontier fighters, what if they're not fearless? What would it be like? What would life be like? So she wondered about that. She is known, she dealt with, also with natives, okay, and there's a tribe, the Montana's Blackfoot tribe. She is what they call an honorary member. No, she's not a native, but again, she's an honorary member of the tribe, and because she painted them to be very noble and brave, and the like, and also frontier people as very noble, brave, courageous. Let's see what else we have. Okay. She in her stories, and you may find that in the story we're going to be reading, she changes the formula. Again, the formula of the Western writings is that you have men who go out and are courageous. They're fearless. Nothing disturbs them. They just go out and they do their job. Okay. Well, she changes that. And let's see. In other words, they're not invincible. They can be conquered. So that's her Western formula. Let me see. Yes. And she also includes, because quite often in Westerns, you don't have a focus on women, on the females. It's more or less on the men, the males. So she likes to include the women in this. So her formula includes that Western, both men, male and female, are tough but not invincible. So that's how she has that. You're going to find this in our story, that for her, the women are like men, very strong, and they tend to be very loyal, just like the men. So she, it was not usual for women, at least during those years. Again, let's take a look at her years. We're talking 1905, 1983. And then don't forget, she also taught during a number of years during her lifetime. Okay, the university level professorship. But if you look at her years, it was not typical for a woman writer to do Westerns. If you go and try to find books, dealing with the Western, your short stories and novels, you'll see mainly male names, not so much female names. It was just not usual. And critics looked at that and thought, Johnson doing a Western? You gotta be kidding me, right? No woman could do a Western. Okay. So, there were critics who defended her ability to actually write Westerns. So she did have the critics who sided with her and said, yeah, she's good. She knows what she's doing. She's including both, in the frontier, it's both men and women. There's a focus on both the men and the women, okay? And it's the way real life was. They were not invincible. They were brave, they were courageous, they were fearless, but they could be conquered. Okay. So let's see what else we've got. Yes. This is very important. Namely, what themes does she use in her stories? And in her work, she tends to talk about, make sure you're getting this, make sure you're doing notes. In her works, she tends to talk about love and sacrifice. Now, that may carry over to today's story. Okay? So I want you to think about that. Love and sacrifice. So you may see that in the story. Okay? Do you have any questions about her? I'm trying to see if there was anything else. Let's see. Nope. Nothing else. So very fascinating, isn't it? Like I said, she was an editor. She taught. Basically, I believe it was English. Okay, an honorary member of a tribe. That's wonderful. Okay. Any questions about her? No? Okay. Like I said, I hope you have notes. All right. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be reading Johnson's. Keep in mind, it's Dorothy M. Please don't forget the M. Somehow it does make a difference. And there's so many Dorothys out there and Johnsons. It's amazing. Dorothy M Johnson. So please read her. You're going to be reading this. So please make sure that you Google Too Soon a Woman. And please read that. Too Soon a Woman. It is a short story. Yes, indeedy. Okay. And we will cover the highlights like always. We'll do that till the end of the school year. We'll cover highlights of her story next class period. So be prepared to do that. Okay. Hold on. I've got to get my pointer. So be prepared. Have it read. So let's look at the assignment here. So please make sure you read her story, Too Soon a Woman. Again, Dorothy M Johnson. And I need you to copy and answer the following. Discuss Mary and Paul, two of the characters in the story. And when I say discuss, I don't mean one sentence. That's not a discussion. Discuss is, hey, you're talking about Mary? 2-3 sentences would be nice. Talk about her. The story is not a very long one, but it's more than a page. So you should be getting ideas. So if you truly are reading the story, you should get some ideas. Who is Mary? What kind of a person is she? Same thing for Paul. You should have at least 2-3 sentences. Who is Paul? What kind of person is he? What changes the narrator's mind about Mary? So yes, we have a narrator. Remember, a narrator is someone who tells the story. Okay? So we're not talking speakers here. We're talking the narrator who's telling the story. In other words, a narrator narrates. Tells. Okay? What changes his or her mind about Mary? Okay? So something happens in this story. If you look at the title, Too Soon a Woman, that gives you an idea. It gives you a little something about a character in the story. Please make sure you copy and answer this. I do mean read this story. It's hard to answer this if you haven't read that. And then I'd like you to answer the following daily question. Please answer the following daily questions. If you could be president for the day, what would you do? So if you could be president for that one day, for tomorrow, let's say. If you could be president tomorrow, just tomorrow, what would you do? Okay? So that's one of those creative ones. You got to really think about it. Okay. So do you have any questions? So Dorothy M Johnson is a little different, isn't she? I'm sure you're thinking, it's been a long time since I read anything about Western writer. Yes, that's what she is, a Western writer. It's great. It's so different. Okay. Everything is due today. The reading, and then this portion. If you do have questions, you don't understand something with the story, please let me know. Again, Google it under Dorothy M. Johnson. Too Soon a Woman. Okay. As I said, it is due today. I hope you have a great day. Till next time, bye-bye.